I just want to make you aware of it before we start.
My example is extreme.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? You made me nervous. I hope it's extreme. I don't need anything, just.
know that
Okay.
if it's an expensive amount like that, we'll be able to work with them as long as they develop a plan and make contact back with us.
Yep.
And everybody is supposed to call the general manager.
Exactly.
Okay.
Thank you.
Transfer it over now.
That's that. Stops down there. All right, good. New business. PWSD #1 escrow agreement.
Happy what I hope is a positive and brief item of business. On the memo I prepared, before my, I guess backing way up, PPW bought some, or purchased customer territory from PWSD in Warner, Ross County. We put $150,000 down at the time with the balance put into escrow. This is about 15 years ago. There was about 6 years left to go on the agreement. Before my tenure here, I understand that PWSD #1 and PPW tried to come to a mutually beneficial early payoff amount to free up that cash, and something we were not able to reach an agreement. Things kind of fizzled out. They reached back out to us a few weeks ago, asked if we'd be willing to hear an offer for an early payoff of our remaining purchase price. I said we'd be happy to entertain an offer. They provided one to us. I've discussed it with Heath. It's I think it's an offer that's fair to us. I kind of run my own calculations. Of course, they, like us, are in the middle of the project, so I think this could be a win-win where both parties would free up some cash. We have to maintain an overfunded amount in that escrow account. And of course, for them, it's money they don't get in full for 6 more years. So it's what they've offered is, and these are all publicly available figures. Obviously, it's about a $65,000 discount to the remaining payoff of the balance. And we could, of course, and we'd also free up about $255,000 of required overfunding of that escrow account.
So that's the big thing for us, basically.
They're both wins. I like both of them.
65, if we didn't pay, well, we're paying in cheaper dollars down the road, and that's a wash.
Well, we can, the 65, I'm gonna consider a wash, because we can invest that, you know, at a rate higher than we're earning on the, because we have in some short-term treasury securities in the escrow account getting like 2%. Of course, we could, you know, it's like
3.5.
3 1/4 is the average of the last few CDs we purchased. For example, so we're saving 15% off the remaining obligation. We can invest the funds at a higher rate, frees up liquidity at a time the water fund could obviously use it. So management's recommendation is for the board to approve an early payoff. Then I would just reach out to Ross County's legal counsel, and they would provide formal documentation to sign off on at a future board meeting.
Okay.
I don't think you guys have any
Do I hear
questions
a
or-
motion?
I'll make a motion for early termination of the escrow account. I'll second that motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Very good.
You're still up.
Yeah.
Oh,
That was the thing to keep track of.
snapping, cracking knees and ankles. What do we got now? Proposed budget.
Proposed budget.
So we had a budget workshop recently here, and a draft budget. And I've submitted a new budget to you, which only reflects 2 changes. What's my memo say? One is investing the water bond proceeds. Some previous borrowings we've done, we've had a request reimbursement, reimburse of project costs. These will receive the full $9.8-ish million that we can then invest and get some interest on, which will of course go down rapidly, but it increases increased interest income by about $37,000-ish in the water fund. The other change was the redefinition of the large industrial rate class in the electric fund, which cost, I think, $150,000, or reduced revenue by $150,000. And then, as we discussed in the stormwater update, if you guys would so direct me, I could adjust the budget to remove a shared allocation of certain administrative and IT-related costs from the stormwater fund, which would then affect electric fund by like $100,000 and water and sewer by about $50,000 each. Basically 200 put back on those funds. But, the budget's very, very similar to what we saw at the budget workshop. This reflects some good news. There are some positive developments I realized, or maybe I should have done all along, but they became clear to me in the water fund with the interest income we'll receive, and then reflects our discussion of expanding the large industrial rate class in electric.
Where's the interest income coming from?
It's coming from an account, short term, it's called ICS, Insured Cash Swap through F&M, our bank of record. It's an insured, it's a money market account, short-term liquid cash.
Cool.
Money shows up, gets swept out to this thing, it stays insured as we need it, it gets transferred back in, so it's just a simple, we get 2% interest on it, which is good for a checking account.
Absolutely.
I wish I might have paid that.
Do we have to have a bank of record and shop that around like the
We
average
have,
person?
we've gone and we have, stump me, but we have a certain amount of time left. We in the city, went together on a banking bid probably 2 years ago or so. It was F&M for many years, and it was US Bank for a certain number of years. And now, and then F&M competed with a few other local banks, and they had a very compelling offer, so we're with F&M.
So that's something that's done periodically?
Yes.
Gotcha. Very good.
So at this point, we would just recommend approval of this draft budget with the changes we've proposed, and then
And since we're not cutting electric rates to, you know, try to buffer some of the other increases that we're looking at, when would be the next time we could consider that?
in December for the January, December will be a rate hearing, rate analysis time for the already.
Since we're doing it twice a year.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can see how the year's shaping up in December.
All right, do I hear a motion on this, or do we have more discussion? I'm sorry.
I'll make a motion.
We got this
Accept
pretty
the
hard
operating
last.
I think Heath has something,
Yeah.
objection.
Oh, yes.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
You can adjust rates any month you want.
Okay.
It's just we already
I-
have
yeah,
pre-programmed
right.
for the December adjustment
Right.
for
Yeah,
the water, and that makes sense to look at it then.
Sure,
I guess, I'm sorry.
that's fine.
Before we move forward, do we want to go ahead and amend it
I
to
think so,
propose the,
to stop charging admin to stormwater.
correct?
That's what I meant to, have you guys formally say with, approve this draft budget as presented with the revision to, I'm not sure how you want to succinctly say that, to take away the shared allocation of administrative expenses to the stormwater fund, like that, or something to that effect.
What he said.
Yeah.
And the reclassification is already in, right?
Of the industrial plants?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, that is proposed in there, yes.
I'll second Steve's motion
Okay.
to what Abe said.
Starting to get shady.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Who's up next? Oh, somebody else.
Ameren letter of intent, I'm sorry, I'm supposed to
Okay.
announce this stuff.
I'm gonna try to be brief, even though this is a pretty significant project, so if you need more explanation, I know you guys have heard it, but if you want more, just say so. In the packet, there are 2 items. One is a letter of intent from me stating that the BPW wants to move forward with Ameren on a feasibility and preliminary engineering on a project that would entail a new connection into the Ameren electrical distribution system. And then there's a board resolution basically stating the same thing, that we want to proceed with the project. Basically, this connection would be located south of town and replace the 2 existing connections at the Marion Sub, which is near the Mark Twain Cave. And here's some of the reasoning for this project. It's mostly twofold. It improves system reliability by replacing the 1970s connections there at the Marion substation. One was installed in 73, one was in 74, and the substation is at least that old, probably older. It's an Ameren-owned substation, and they're in difficult to maintain terrain. They're basically cross-country through some hills and hollers. Economically, also it makes sense if the numbers work out the way we're predicting. Total project is estimated to cost about $10 million, and this is an estimate from Barnes Henry, our electric consulting engineer. If you remember, last month you approved an increase to the wholesale distribution agreement with Ameren as a result of the upgrades we performed on the diesel generator project. And this wholesale distribution system agreement is tied to the Marion Sub, and it's a monthly fee. It went from about $19,000 a month to about $33,000 a month, just because of the upgrades we did to the diesel generator. If you finance that amount over 20, 25 years, if you finance 10 million over 20 or 25 years, it ends up basically being, you know,
What's your
35,000 a month, it ends up being a wash. I mean, I'm not proposing we have to finance $10 million, but I'm just saying worst case scenario, you have to borrow $10 million. You know, you're paying that much out in monthly fees to Ameren. So financially, it makes sense. Also, eliminating that monthly fee for the Marion substation is high on our list, and will be in our best financial interest. That was a similar strategy used for the western tie we have on the 161 line. You know, we paid for the connection up front, you know, a few $1 million, and then we don't have to pay a monthly fee. So it's kind of a trade-off, and after about a 20-year period, you end up even, and then from then on, you don't have to pay that monthly fee. And then your infrastructure, you know, is gonna last 50 years or whatever you design it for.
And their fee could go up.
Yeah, that's the next thing I was gonna say. In the meeting with Ameren, when they were saying, hey, oh, by the way, we're increasing the fee from 19 to 33 grand for the generator project, they verbally mentioned that they were planning on a future project at the Marion sub to separate the bus work. That way, us and the Continental Cement Company, were the big customers fed by that bus work, would not see blinks. If Continental has an power issue, we would not see a blink, and vice versa, which is a little bit more of an issue for Continental Cement than it is for us. If we have an issue on our several miles of transmission line, then they are seeing a blink. So Ameren wants to obviously avoid that for system reliability. So they're proposing to spend some dollar amount, I don't know, a few $100,000.
1.4.
Huh?
1.4.
1.4 million, and guess who will get to pay the increased facilities charge if and when they do that? We will, not Continental Cement, being, you know, they're being a retail customer. So I don't know what that amount will go up to, but it would happen eventually. And because of our previous contract where we agreed on a percentage of that facility, you know, 16-point-some%, we're obligated to pay. So basically, that's when we counteroffered back to them and said, can we have a new connection? Can we have a connection that's not in the floodplain, which the Marion sub is in the floodplain, had issues during 93 and 2011 or 8, I can't remember which.
8 and 12.
Sandbag down there, and they're always a little slower than we're comfortable with on the sandbagging. So getting that out of the floodplain would give us peace of mind and some more reliability. Also, shortening the distance of our transmission line that goes across country would give us a lot more system reliability. So we basically asked the question, can you give us a new connection? They were surprisingly in favor of that project because they have some advantages in that as well. The substation line is fed on a radial transmission line from Ameren, and for radial lines, they don't get any transmission fees. So they would very much like for that to be a transmission line eventually going on across the river, and then they could collect transmission fees from all people who are using the line over some period of time. And they would get a guaranteed rate of return on the project from MISO. So it looks like a win-win for both of us. So basically what I'm asking for you guys to do is to approve the letter of intent and the resolution. That way we can tell Ameren we are, right now, we would like to consider doing the project and look at the costs, feasibility of it, preliminary engineering work. This would allow them to stop doing engineering on the Marion bus work separation, which they are doing now. And frankly, from our point of view, this is a waste of time and going to be more expensive on our end. So we would like to very much look into this future project, and if the numbers don't work out, then we won't move forward. And if they continue to look like they look now, then we'll be coming back to you with some more, you know, budget, 5-year plan, that kind of stuff.
But this makes our system more robust.
Well, I mean, we've got 1973 to 1974 wood pole line.
If you remember the 5-year plan,
That
Through,
in our 5-year plan, I have, I think, what, $5 million? No, yeah, something of that, close to that.
$3 million, something like that.
$3 million to replace.
so that becomes theirs up to Route T, and we take over from there.
That is correct.
And so that $3 million would come off the capital projects
That's correct.
anyways.
That's correct.
Yeah, we were already planning to replace those lines, and this would replace that project.
And it gives us more control of our own system,
Yes.
more reliability.
Yeah, we were not only planning on replacing the 73-74 line, we were planning on closing in that loop. We call it our 34-5 loop, but right now.
We have a gap between Oakwood substation and Southside substation to make a complete full loop.
So we were planning on those two anyway, which are part of this $10 million estimate.
Correct.
All right. In that case, sounds like a great idea to explore.
Absolutely.
Do we need to vote on that?
Yes, to approve the resolution.
I'll make a motion to approve this
Okay.
resolution.
Here a second? Also. All those in favor?
Aye.
Good deal.
Thank you.
Maybe using some of those reserve funds.
Yeah.
Very good. On to water fund bond sale. Are we at the right time?
Nope.
One more before that.
Purchase.
Oh, I'm sorry, I checked that off. We got that gone.
I'll try to be quick with this one as well, but it's, again, a significant, important item, high dollar item, so. With the assistance of GDS, we previously purchased some peak energy block contracts prior to all of you guys being on board for the summers of 2017 through 2019. So our 2019 summers coming to an end here pretty soon. So now's kind of the time to go out to bid and procure those peak energy blocks for future years. Kind of we're hedging ourselves against potential volatility during those high peak months, June, July, August, and now we've even included September in these prices because the last couple of Septembers it's been hot. And we've had some higher than we're comfortable with prices. So, they went out for some indicative pricing, basically just saying, hey, give us some prices. And you can see those here in the memo. And those ranged from, 33.65 up to 42.56 per megawatt hour. And our current pricing blocks that we're paying right now that we'll pay this summer are 38.65. So we got some prices even cheaper than we're paying right now. So working with us and the city of Kirkwood, our utility there, GS recommended basically that we get board approval to go out for live pricing, which will happen on April the 22nd at 11 a.m. Very similar to what AIM did today with the water line. We would do live pricing. If that pricing come in at the amount listed or not to exceed 35.50 per megawatt hour, they think it's a good deal. And they're basically asking for you to give me the authority to say yes on that, which is about 5% more than their low bid. If pricing would come in higher than that, then obviously we would go back to the drawing board and come back with another recommendation another time. This is the same recommendation that they are giving Kirkwood, Missouri, and that's what Kirkwood did in the past. I don't know if it's exactly what we did in the past. I'm not sure if live pricing was an option back in
I can't recall.
2015, 16, whenever we did it, I don't know. Is their recommendation that this is the best way to get the cheapest price?
Now, it seems to me,
He did the live pricing, yeah, she said he did the live.
it seems to me that when we looked at buying these blocks versus not, and just buying it on the open market, that it's always been kind of a wash.
So far it has been, what we're buying here is peace of mind.
Yeah.
Kind of a wash for price. These are the hours of the year, summer things when.
I mean, it
storm
could
hits.
be anything, but
Yeah, but
the
it's
reality has been that it was not a whole lot different.
In our 2 years.
But now we know, we can plan, we know exactly.
Yeah,
In the 2 years.
in our 2 year short.
2017, 2018.
Yes.
Don't know 2019 yet, but we'll find out.
It's peace of mind. It's kind of keeping full coverage on a car that's paid off.
Yeah.
And it's liability's cheaper, but you're on the risk of.
And this
$35.
amount, now this is about, if we get it for less than 35, we're talking 10% lower on what portion of our total?
About $1 million. It's about $350 a month,
Okay.
roughly. Yeah. It's 5 by 16 by, 80 hours. Whatever number of hours that is times
I
that.
resign myself, not understand it,
Around $300 grand a month.
comfortable.
Plus or minus.
It's lower, and that's good.
Yeah, lower's better.
Yeah. All right.
Need a motion?
You need a motion?
I'll make a motion.
All right, a second?
Also,
All right, all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Now we're ready for the baby.
I'll just, real briefly. So today is the culmination of about 2 years of me keeping my fingers crossed like this ever since the vote happened to, cease using ammonia. I hope that, I'm old enough now, I've been around through a few recessions and credit markets freezing up and rates jumping up and down. And I was hoping the credit markets would be liquid, it would find our water bond to be appealing. We had some very good success today, I want to say. We had a large number of bidders sign up for our sale. A large number of bids submitted, and the winning bid came in at what appears to be a true interest cost of 3.11%. It was Piper Jaffray out of Minneapolis, Minnesota. Financial advisor Joy Howard is very pleased with the result. It reflects a lot of help we've had, of course, from Joy Howard, from our bond counsel, Gilmore and Bell, from Heath, from Matt, from former city manager Lagars. There's a lot of people that really worked hard on this, and
Hey.
I'm just kind of the guy shuffling little numbers around, but it happened. It's kind of funny how a 2-year process comes together, like he saw, and just did a little eBay auction. It wasn't an online auction with hitting refresh and watching the bids keep coming in, and then hit the output result that they were lined up from 3.11 up to, they were kind of grouped real close. At high it was like 3.6, but what I perceive to be a very, very good result. That's kind of takeaways. I kind of turn over right now to Mark Grimm from Gilmore and Bell, our bond counsel, who has some very serious.
Before we go there, what were you thinking, 4% or?
I budgeted
that?
4, I was thinking 3.8. I want to budget a little conservative, interest
So
rates of
what will that mean to us in terms of savings?
$89,000 we're gonna save per year, on year one. Because I'm bidding only at, about 1%.
And then it goes down from there.
Yep.
Nice.
So yeah, it was
Budget, so-
I was guessing 3.8, financial advisor Howard would not committed, she didn't want to be.
So that seems like Matt's tanks.
Yeah.
In 1 year. Careful, there. Easy.
I like his result.
Yeah, that's fuzzy man.
All right.
Mark Grimm, Gilmore Bill.
Good afternoon.
Good.
Well, after the way the Blues and Cardinals have been playing, we could use some good news, so.
Got
we
my
got-
Blues hat back.
I know, I saw that, and we'll hope they do better tonight.
That's right.
Get back on track. So, first of all, worked with the city for a long time and appreciate the opportunity to work with y'all again. This is, terrific, outstanding news for the city to, as Abe mentioned, and by the way, he's been a rock star as far as the amount of work that he's put into this to make everything come together. But Joy Howard was concerned about how many bids, but he really hit the bond market at a great time. He had 7 bids. He said the lowest at 311. It's just really outstanding and is a real testament to the quality of your staff, the quality of your management, just the quality of your financial condition. And so y'all ought to be proud of getting that much action on a transaction like this. So you've got a resolution in front of you where the Board of Public Works agrees to carry out the responsibilities of the city set forth in the bond ordinance, which the council will adopt tonight. And then and that's the only action you all need to take. The closing will occur April 25th, and that's when people have the money to invest and also get reimbursed for some expenditures that y'all have already made. And so then we'll have you all sign a few documents after the meeting. We'll have the council's mayor and clerk sign some documents tonight, and we'll just wait for the closing here in a couple weeks. So appreciate the opportunity to work with you and have to answer any questions.
Thank you. So the 3.11, that's what it is.
Yeah, that's what's known as the true interest cost.
Okay.
Now the all-in cost, which takes into account cost of issuance, is about 3.2%. So that takes into account the our fees and bond insurance and all that. but the bid is awarded on a true interest cost. That's how the bids are compared.
Right.
And so that's how they're ranked, and they range from 311 to 367.
Very good. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So, do I hear a motion to adopt this resolution, send it to the council?
Yeah.
I'll make a motion.
Also,
All those in favor?
Aye.
and so immediately before we do any closed session, you gotta sign the documents, or you can
Okay.
go to, because we get the mayor to sign it before the meeting.
I see. Very well.
And we don't have to hang out until 10 o'clock at night.
Okay. Comments from the city attorney?
I have no additional comments.
And general discussion?
No, sir.
No? Okay, well, that's good.
Time for that tonight.
Gotcha.
So we wanna sign documents before we
Okay.
go into closed session?
Yeah, you can go into closed session and then stop signing before we start.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, pursuant to section 610.021, paragraphs 1, 3, and 12 of the Missouri Sunshine Law, the meeting shall convene in closed session to discuss litigation, personnel, and contracts, and shall include,
Myself, Courtney, Matt Munsinger.
You don't need me?
No, sir.
Oh, wow.
You can get an early start. You can eat supper
do
before.
we have a second?
Probably not.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Thanks for coming, everybody.